So on to the last of our finals from the Quality in 2010 Sprint Nationals. It's the Awesome Opens. Basically anything goes up to 250cc in a wild mix of 100 twins, 125 KZ2s and the booming, bellowing 250s. But the 100 twins have been dominating. I haven't got a co-commentator because he's out there running second on track, chasing down Daniel Bray. Daniel Bray with the lead. So you can see two engines on each side of the kart from the first two karts with Bray and Chambers. There's another one with Daniel Picard out of Wellington running a pair of twin 100cc water cools. And around this tight and twisty Hastings track, it seems to be the way to go at the moment. The KZ2s haven't been a bad proposition, but Ryan Urban's been struggling a little bit in the big CR250. Just unable to get the power down in maybe some of the tighter corners. Nicholas Kaiser holding off the attention of Daniel Eagleton. Into his second season of racing sprint cars out of Western Springs Speedway and back into kart sport up the inside of Kaiser at turn number 1 in the Intrepid chassis. So the KZ2 125s pretty much dominate the numbers across this field, approaching 20 entries for the Open New Zealand title. Daniel Bray's been the pace setter throughout the weekend. He was top qualifier, won the first heat and the second heat and the pre-final to start off the pole for this final. But Tony Chambers is right there with him. Listen to the screaming 100 water cools, 19,000 RPM aside. As Daniel Bray alluded to earlier on, nearly 60 horsepower going down on the track. Ryan Urban making the pass there on the reigning national champ, Richard Moore. It was a fairy tale finish with his win in Open at Hamilton a year ago. So Ryan Urban trying to work his way forward. Started from the rear of the grid a year ago, got into the third spot on a down on power engine. Things haven't quite gone to plan for the former national champ this weekend. Daniel Bray staving off the attentions of Tony Chambers. This is the battle out in front. They're about 3 seconds clear of this third place Daniel Picard. So the 100 twins dominating the top 3 positions here for the Open final. Daniel Duffy and Daniel Eagleton, the first of the KZ2s, in 4th and 5th. Daniel Bray, the current North Island KZ2 champ. And you'll notice they're not pulling gears. These are direct drive, no shifting gears like the KZ2 and 250 class karts. There's Eagleton. Now he's under pressure from Ryan Urban, who's storming through the field. Had a DNF in the pre-final, started from the rear of the grid for this final. Chambers has already set the fastest lap of the race, a 30.3. Problems, Jonathan Pearson in the 79. So one of the local hopes drops out of contention. Bray just making adjustment. He's lost some concentration. Chambers goes around him. Bray tries to come back up the inside into Clubhouse. Well, not too sure what happened there with Daniel Bray. He just reached down to the right side engine. And Chambers takes over the front running. So we've got the Arrow chassis, a pair of TM100 water cools on the chassis rails. Daniel Bray in second in the GP Racing machine. This is the 38 of Daniel Dufty. He's lost a spot to Ryan Urban. He's gone by him and Daniel Eagleton. So Urban is up into probably about the 4th position. There's Daniel Picard just up ahead in the 29. So Urban storming through this field. Daniel Dufty, the second of the GP Racing chassis, but running in KZ2 spec. There's the 25 of Snow Mooney. He's running inside the top 10. Familiar face in the 125. And Pro Kart Series, oh, Urban's race is over. Heartbreak for the former national champ. He stormed all the way to 4th from the rear of the field. So that'll put Dufty up into 4th, Eagleton 5th, Richard Moore here, the reigning national champ, in the 6th position in the Maranello chassis. But it's still Tony Chambers controlling the lead from Daniel Bray, who had the early front running. Chambers, a former national title holder in the Rotax Light class. He's been helping us with the commentary over the weekend for the New Zealand Sprint titles. Hasn't done an awful lot of racing. over the last 12 or so months. But he's doing the job here in the final for Open, chased by Daniel Bray. And he knows that he's done it. Tony Chambers, another national crown. He takes the checkered flag and the win in the Open class from Daniel Bray and Wellington's Daniel Picard. Daniel Duffy in fourth, Daniel Eggleton in fifth, Richard Moore in sixth.
Well, Tony, mate, bit of a dark horse, eh? Nobody picked you to come through, but you made it look quite easy in the end.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't have picked it at the start of the week either. You know, Daniel and his dad were doing a really good job with their cart, and we were pretty happy with our pace earlier in the week. We were a little bit slower, but I knew it would probably be a little bit easier on tyres. So, and that's what paid off. You know, the tyres have lasted, and we'll come away with the win.
Daniel, it was a great race. I mean, I really thought that he were going to be able to hold him out.
I thought I was going to as well, and then looked down the radiator temp, and I had to flip open a little blind, and as I was doing that, hit the bumps and ran a bit wide. And good on Tony, he seized the opportunity, and I thought I was going to hold him off, but obviously not. I mean, a little disappointed, but good on them.
Danny, that was a great drive, mate. You held him out, you worked hard for it.
Yeah, cheers. It came a lot from all the family support and everything. The cart was wicked toward the end. We just got stuck behind Duffy, and we put through fast laps once we got through, but it's just the way it goes.